What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be having a look at rapid fire in Call of Duty World War II. Keep in mind, at the time of this testing, this was done during the beta build of the game, but I feel rapid fire is unlikely to change in the final build. I'll be sure to test it once the final build comes out, and I'll make the changes if necessary, but I believe this is likely going to stay the same. So basically, a lot of people are wondering, is rapid fire worth it? Is it worth it on SMGs, on assault rifles, sniper rifles? When is it worth it to put it on? When is it not worth it to put it on? So I did a bunch of testing for you guys, and I'm going to be sharing those results with you today, as well as a side-by-side comparison, both with and without rapid fire. So first off, let's start with the STG. The STG is the first gun that I picked in the assault rifle category. Keeping in mind, I didn't test every single gun. I'm more so testing the guns that I feel people are more likely to put rapid fire on, and the STG is definitely one of those. Without rapid fire, the rate of fire on the STG is hand tested at 660 rounds per minute. With rapid fire though, this bumps it all the way up to 710 rounds per minute. So this is actually a 7.5% increase in our rate of fire with rapid fire on the STG. As for the Type 100 in the SMG category, we start off with a 617 rounds per minute rate of fire, and that bumps all the way up to 660 rounds per minute with rapid fire. So this time it's right around a 7% increase to your rate of fire. Now for the sniper rifles, I chose the Commonwealth, and with the Commonwealth, our rate of fire goes from 52 rounds per minute to 49 rounds per minute, which is a 6% change, but keep in mind it's a lot less accurate at this point because I am rounding these values a little bit, and you're also looking at just 60 frames per second, so it's very likely that it's actually coded at a 7% difference, but we only see a 6% difference to our rate of fire with the Commonwealth. Now, one gun that I definitely wanted to test here, because there's been a little bit of questioning about this. This is the M30 Luftwaffe, which is the double-barreled shotgun. With this one, I've had a lot of people ask, why would you run Hustle when you could just run rapid fire and that allows you to rechamber your shots faster? That is actually reload time. Rapid fire has no impact on your ability to load 2 more shells. All it does with this gun is it reduces the time between each of those 2 shots that you fire. So when you have both of your barrels loaded and you want to fire both of those shots as fast as possible, this is where rapid fire comes in. And with this one, I calculated an 8.7% difference, but again, like I was saying earlier, the sample size is very small on this because we're just looking at the fire time between 2 shots rather than 30 shots or something like that. So again, it's likely coded at 7%, but what we actually see and experience in-game at 60 frames per second is an 8.7% increase to your rate of fire. And finally, I had a look at the Winchester 1897, because that's another one where I've really been on the fence about whether or not I want to run rapid fire on that, because a lot of times you do need that follow-up shot with it, and if you can get that follow-up shot off a lot faster, then it would definitely be worth it. With the Winchester 1897, our rate of fire goes from 59 rounds per minute up to 63 rounds per minute, so relatively small increase. This is 6.8%. So overall, based on these results, it appears that rapid fire does give a flat 7% increase to your rate of fire, but when you are dealing with frame rounding and things like that, this does vary a little bit from gun to gun, but it's always going to be right around that 7% mark. And how does this compare to a previous Call of Duty game, like let's just choose Black Ops 3 for instance, because rapid fire was relatively popular in that game? Black Ops 3 on average was more like 6% difference. Again, there was some variance to that. Sometimes it was 6, sometimes it was 7 or 8%, sometimes it was 4 or 5%, but on average it seemed to be right around a 6% difference in Black Ops 3. So it seems like rapid fire in CoD World War II is just slightly more effective than we saw in Black Ops 3 on average, and therefore I would say that this attachment is definitely not completely useless. That was one of my fears, is that I was going to discover that it was like a 2 or 3% increase. It's definitely going to be noticeable in some situations, but I would say it's also not going to be a crutch attachment by any means. If you don't have rapid fire on the STG, for instance, it's not going to completely ruin your gameplay, but there are some situations where rapid fire is definitely going to make the difference between life and death. Those situations will be relatively few and far between, but if you feel like it's worth it to you, then absolutely feel free to run rapid fire. As for on something like sniper rifles, I would say it's one of those attachments where if you've got nothing else that you really want to use, sure, pop it on. Or if you're the type of sniper that's going for those feeds, you're trying to get quad feeds and everything like that, then you probably will want every millisecond that you can possibly squeeze out of it, and therefore you will want rapid fire. But I would say for the average sniper out there, definitely not necessary to use rapid fire. And it's kind of a similar story with the Winchester 1897. There are likely going to be some situations out there where you just need those couple extra frames. If you could have shot a couple frames sooner, then you would have gotten the kill compared to dying. But that's not going to be like every situation you run into, so therefore I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I feel like other attachments are probably going to help you a little bit more with the shotguns. I also wanted to make a quick note about the double barrel shotgun. I would say rapid fire is pretty much completely useless on that. I wouldn't use it at all. Even though it saw the largest percent increase at 60 frames per second, I still feel that it's just completely unnecessary with that gun. Normally when you are using the double barrel, you fire one shot, then you want to wait just for a second to see if that shot got the kill, and then you fire your second shot if necessary. And therefore rapid fire is not going to be helping you there. Normally you don't just go in and spam both of your barrels. So overall, my impression on rapid fire is it's not useless, but it's also not going to be a crutch. It's not something you absolutely need in this game. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's video. I'd like to know in the comment section below, out of all the guns in the game, which is your favorite to use the rapid fire attachment on? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.